Imagine waking up one day to find out that the biggest success story you've been following is nothing but a house of cards ready to crumble at the slightest touch. This is the story of Tingo Group and its founder, Dozie Mobuwosi. Dozie's journey started in the heart of Lagos, Nigeria. The vibrant West African city would serve as the setting of the journey of the young Dozie Mobuwosi, a journey that would one day make headlines around the world. Dozie was born in the late 70s, and while Lagos had its fair share of challenges at the time, Dozie saw far beyond that. His academic path led him to Ambrose Ali University in Ekpoma, Edo State, where he ventured into the worlds of political science and economics, earning degrees that would lay the groundwork for his future endeavors. In 2001, Mobuwosi founded Tingo. But Tingo was not just another startup. It was a beacon of innovation with the sole aim of revolutionizing the agricultural sector in Nigeria. His goal was to build a company that could empower farmers with technology that was both accessible and transformative. That was Mobuwosi's vision. A vision that would grow Tingo into an agri-fintech powerhouse, bridging the gap between traditional farming practices and the digital age. As Tingo took root, it began to flourish, spreading its branches far beyond its initial scope. The company positioned itself uniquely at the intersection of agriculture and fintech, creating a platform that wasn't just about mobile phones or financial solutions, but about empowering a whole sector that had been largely overlooked by the tech revolution. Tingo Mobile, the flagship subsidiary, became a leading name in agri-fintech, offering services that enabled subscribers and farmers to manage their commercial activities with unprecedented ease and efficiency. The impact of Tingo's innovative platform services was profound. Farmers who had once been isolated from the broader market found themselves connected to a vast network of buyers and resources. Transactions that had been cumbersome and time-consuming were now streamlined and simplified. Tingo was beginning to transform the agricultural sector, both within Nigeria and beyond its borders. But as Tingo soared to new heights, little did anyone know that dark clouds were gathering. The very success that had catapulted Mobuwosi and his company into the spotlight would soon attract scrutiny that threatened to unveil the dark, shocking and unexpected side of the story. The first crack in Tingo's facade appeared when Hindenburg Research, a firm known for its investigative prowess into corporate malpractices, labelled Tingo an obvious scam. This revelation sent shockwaves through the financial world, prompting a closer look into the operations of Tingo Group. What was uncovered was a web of lies so intricate it left many questioning how it went unnoticed for so long. Dozie Mobuwosi, the man behind the curtain, was revealed to have orchestrated a massive scheme to inflate Tingo Group's financial statements, making the company appear profitable and cash-rich when, in reality, it was anything but. As the investigation deepened, more details emerged, painting a picture of a company that was more fiction than fact. Tingo's acclaimed N-Wasa platform, which was supposed to be the cornerstone of its success, was shrouded in mystery and inconsistencies. Claims of launching in 2019 were contradicted by later statements suggesting a 2020 launch. The platform's reported success, processing transactions worth over $8 million daily, was impossible to verify, with no evidence of the claimed USSD transaction platform found in media, company filings, or on Tingo's website. The SEC's complaint laid bare the extent of the deception. Mobuwosi was accused of directing employees to provide false bank statements to Nasdaq, facilitating the listing of Tingo Mobile shares on the exchange. This move allowed him to sell shares at inflated prices, generating millions in illicit profits. The boldness of the scheme was unbelievable, with fake financial numbers going all the way back to 2019. But perhaps the most damning evidence came from Hindenburg Research's on-the-ground investigation in Nigeria. Their findings suggested that Tingo Group, for all its claims of being a leading digital agriculture ecosystem in Africa, barely existed beyond paper and press releases. Visits to Tingo's supposed headquarters in Lagos revealed a sparsely staffed office, where basic questions about the company's operations went unanswered. Even more telling was the visit to Tingo's Dubai branch, which was found empty, contradicting claims of a multi-billion-dollar pipeline of commodities exports. In the world of business, especially in the fast-paced fintech sector, the line between innovation and regulation is often a tightrope walked by many. However, when that line is crossed, the consequences can be severe. This was precisely the case for Dozie Mobuwosi and his company, Tingo Group, as they found themselves at the centre of a legal storm that would not only threaten their existence, but also shake the very foundations of investor trust in fintech companies. The saga took a dramatic turn when the US Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, a watchdog for investors and markets, filed charges against Mobuwosi and 3 companies under his leadership. The SEC's deep dive into Tingo's financials revealed that the reported billions in assets and revenue were, in large part, non-existent. The fraud was so audacious that Tingo's bank accounts, which were supposed to hold hundreds of millions of dollars, had less than $50 at the end of the fiscal year 2022. This bombshell not only questioned the integrity of Tingo's operations, but also raised serious concerns about the oversight mechanisms in place. The complaint went further, accusing him of siphoning off funds for his personal benefit. In the words of the SEC, Mobuwosi and the entities he controls have fraudulently obtained hundreds of millions in money or property through these schemes. But the legal actions didn't stop there. The SEC took emergency action to freeze Mobuwosi's assets and prevent the companies from transferring money or property to him. This move was not just about stopping the alleged fraud. It was about protecting investors from further harm. It was a clear message to the fintech world. The SEC was watching, and it would act decisively to protect the integrity of the markets. As the news broke, Mobuwosi's status shifted dramatically. Once celebrated as a visionary entrepreneur, he was now described as at large by the US Attorney's Office and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI. The man who had ambitiously sought to conquer Wall Street and beyond was now facing criminal charges that carried prison sentences ranging from 5 to 20 years each. The fallout from the Tingo-Dozie fraud was not confined to the courtroom. Its impact rippled out, affecting not just the direct victims of the fraud, but also shaking the broader fintech ecosystem. Investors, once eager to back the next big thing in tech, now approached Nigerian fintech startups with caution. The psychological toll on those who had placed their trust and money in Mobuwosi's vision was profound. Many faced not just financial loss, but a deep sense of betrayal that eroded their faith in the fintech sector. This ripple effect extended beyond individual investors. The Nigerian tech ecosystem, which had been celebrated as a beacon of innovation in Africa, now faced scrutiny. Questions were raised about the due diligence processes of other fintech companies and whether similar issues lurked beneath the surface. In the wake of the scandal, regulatory bodies and law enforcement agencies have been criticized for their failure to detect the signs earlier. How could a company with such glaring discrepancies in its financial reporting go unchecked for so long? The role of Deloitte, Tingo's auditor, has come under scrutiny. Despite giving Tingo a clean bill of health in its 2022 accounts, subsequent investigations revealed a totally different reality. This oversight raises serious questions about the efficacy of financial audits and the ease with which determined fraudsters can manipulate the system. There are valuable lessons to be learned from this Tingo saga. The first and perhaps most crucial lesson is the importance of due diligence. Investors, no matter how enticing an opportunity may seem, must scrutinize the fundamentals of the companies they back. This means looking beyond the glossy presentations and ambitious projections to the hard data that reveals a company's true health. Despite the shadows cast by the dozy fraud, the future of fintech in Africa and beyond remains bright. The potential for technology to transform financial services, making them more accessible and efficient, is too significant to ignore. However, this potential can only be realized if the ecosystem is built on a foundation of trust, transparency, and accountability.